The year was 1995, a year that marked a significant turning point in the annals of scientific exploration and geopolitical tension. The Cold War had thawed, but its chill still lingered in the air. The world was cautiously optimistic, yet the shadows of past conflicts loomed large, casting a long and uncertain shadow over the future. On January 25th, a joint team of Norwegian and American scientists embarked on a mission of peaceful exploration. This mission was a testament to international cooperation, a beacon of hope in a world still healing from the scars of division. Their goal to study the enigmatic Aurora Borealis, the celestial ballet of light known as the Northern Lights. This natural phenomenon had fascinated humanity for centuries, inspiring myths, legends, and scientific curiosity. From the Andøya rocket range in Norway, they launched a Black Brant 12 rocket. This launch was not just a scientific endeavor, but a symbol of human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. This four-stage, solid-fuel-sounding rocket carried scientific instruments to study the upper atmosphere and the ethereal aurora. Each piece of equipment meticulously designed to capture data that could unlock the secrets of our planet's magnetic field and the solar winds that interact with it. This was not a weapon, but a tool of scientific inquiry aimed at unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos. The scientists were driven by a quest for understanding, a desire to push the boundaries of human knowledge. The rocket soared upwards, its trajectory aimed towards the heart of the auroral display. As it ascended, it carried with it the hopes and dreams of the scientific community, eager to shed light on the unknown. The scientists held their breath, their eyes glued to monitors, eager to unlock the secrets held within those shimmering lights. Each data point, each signal received, was a step closer to understanding the complex dance of particles and energy in our atmosphere. Unbeknownst to them, their experiment had set off alarm bells thousands of miles away, in places where the memory of conflict was still fresh and the fear of the unknown was ever present. Alarm bells that threatened to plunge the world back into the abyss of nuclear fear. The delicate balance of peace was at risk, all because of a scientific mission aimed at understanding the beauty of our natural world. Deep within the Russian military apparatus, vigilant eyes tracked the Black Brant's ascent. Russian radar systems, ever watchful for potential threats, picked up the rocket's signature. The radar operators watched, their faces grim, as the data scrolled across their screens. This was no ordinary aircraft. Its trajectory, its speed, its altitude, all pointed towards a possible ballistic missile launch. The Cold War might be over, but its legacy of suspicion and fear remained. The Russian military doctrine, honed during decades of standoff, relied on rapid response, on identifying and neutralizing threats before they could strike. There was no room for hesitation, no time for second-guessing. This could be a preemptive strike, a decapitation attack designed to cripple Russia's command and control. The stakes were too high to ignore. Within minutes, the chilling news reached the highest levels of Russian power. Alarms shrieked, red lights bathed the corridors of the Kremlin in an infernal glow. President Boris Yeltsin, the man who had stared down the August coup just 4 years earlier, now faced a new and terrifying crisis. The dreaded nuclear briefcase, the Shege, was brought to him. Inside lay the codes that could unleash Russia's nuclear arsenal, a force capable of annihilating entire civilizations. The weight of responsibility was crushing. Yeltsin had minutes, perhaps only seconds, to make a decision that could determine the fate of the world. Was this it? Was this the moment they had all feared? The moment when a simple miscalculation could trigger Armageddon? Time seemed to stand still as Yeltsin, surrounded by his advisors, grappled with the unthinkable. The information was still fragmentary, the situation fluid and chaotic. Was this a real attack or a false alarm? Was it a rogue launch or a coordinated strike? The fate of millions, perhaps billions, hung precariously in the balance. The room crackled with tension. Military advisors, their faces etched with grim determination, urged a swift and decisive response. To hesitate, they argued, was to court annihilation. The element of surprise was crucial in nuclear warfare. Russia could not afford to be caught off guard. Yet a nagging doubt lingered in Yeltsin's mind. Could this be a mistake? Was it possible that the West would risk such a brazen attack, knowing full well the devastating consequences? Section 5. Lost in translation, the breakdown of communication. In the chaos and confusion, one crucial detail emerged. Norway had indeed notified Russia of the impending rocket launch. However, Somewhere in the labyrinthine corridors of the Russian bureaucracy, this vital information had been lost or ignored. Whether due to incompetence, negligence, or deliberate obfuscation, the message had failed to reach those who needed it most. The radar operators and the military commanders responsible for interpreting the incoming data. This breakdown in communication, this failure to relay a simple message, had brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. It served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of peace in the nuclear age, where a single miscalculation, a single missing piece of information, could have catastrophic consequences. Section 6. Cold War Shadows, Lingering Mistrust and Suspicion. The Norwegian rocket incident, as it came to be known, exposed the deep-seated mistrust and suspicion that still existed between Russia and the West, even after the fall of the Berlin Wall. This incident occurred in 1995 when a scientific rocket launched from Norway was mistaken by Russian radar as a potential missile attack. The event brought the world to the brink of a nuclear crisis, highlighting the fragile nature of peace in the post-Cold War era. The Cold War might be over, but its legacy of paranoia and fear lingered on, casting long shadows over the nascent international order. The remnants of the Berlin Wall serve as a stark reminder of the division and distrust that once defined global politics. Propaganda from that era still echoes in the collective memory, reinforcing the sense of unease and suspicion. The West, for its part, argued that Russia had overreacted, that its early warning systems were outdated and prone to false alarms. Critics pointed to the aging technology and the lack of modernization in Russia's military infrastructure as key factors that contributed to the near-catastrophic misunderstanding. They pointed to Russia's continued reliance on nuclear weapons as a deterrent, a dangerous relic of a bygone era. The stockpiles of nuclear missiles and the ongoing tests were seen as a testament to an outdated strategy that no longer fit the New World Order. The West believed that such reliance only increased the risk of accidental or intentional nuclear conflict. The Russians, in turn, accused the West of complacency, of failing to understand the very real threat that nuclear weapons still posed. They argued that the West's dismissal of their concerns was not only naive, but dangerously short-sighted. Russian leaders emphasized that the threat of nuclear war had not disappeared with the end of the Cold War, and that vigilance was still necessary. They argued that the incident highlighted the need for greater transparency and communication, for a renewed effort to reduce nuclear arsenals and prevent future misunderstandings. Diplomatic meetings and disarmament talks were seen as crucial steps towards building trust and ensuring that such a close call would never happen again. The world leaders recognized that only through cooperation and dialogue could the lingering shadows of the Cold War be finally dispelled. Section 7. Averted Catastrophe. Reason prevails over panic. Back in the Kremlin, the agonizing wait continued. Minutes stretched into an eternity as Yeltsin weighed his options, the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Finally, as suddenly as it had begun, the crisis abated. New information arrived, confirming that the rocket was indeed a scientific research probe, its trajectory posing no threat to Russian territory. The order to stand down was given. The nuclear briefcase was closed. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. Disaster had been averted, but the world had looked into the abyss, and the abyss had stared back. Section 8. Echoes of Hiroshima, a stark reminder of nuclear peril. The Norwegian rocket incident, though little known to the public at the time, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of peace in the nuclear age. It underlined the devastating consequences of miscalculation, miscommunication, and mistrust. The incident cast long shadows, evoking memories of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, of the horrors that nuclear weapons could unleash upon the world. It highlighted the need for clear lines of communication, for robust early warning systems, and for a renewed commitment to nuclear disarmament. The world had come too close to the brink, and it was imperative that such a close call never happen again. Section 9. The Imperative of Dialogue, Averting Future Near Misses. The Norwegian rocket incident stands as a stark reminder of the enduring threat posed by nuclear weapons. In 1995, a scientific rocket launched from Norway was mistaken for a potential missile attack, bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war. This incident highlights the razor-thin margin for error and the catastrophic consequences that can arise from misunderstandings and miscommunications. It underscores the importance of clear communication, robust early warning systems, and an unwavering commitment to disarmament. Effective communication channels between nations can prevent such near misses and ensure that any potential threats are accurately identified and addressed in a timely manner. The path to a safer world requires constant vigilance, open dialogue, and a shared understanding that the consequences of miscalculation are too grave to bear. Diplomatic efforts and international cooperation are essential in building trust and reducing the likelihood of future incidents. We must learn from the mistakes of the past to ensure that the future does not repeat them. The lessons from historical events like the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Norwegian rocket incident should guide our actions and policies moving forward. The survival of our civilization may very well depend on it. The stakes are incredibly high, and the responsibility to avert disaster lies with each and every one of us, from world leaders to ordinary citizens. The world held its breath in 1995, and we must continue to hold our breath until all nuclear weapons are dismantled and the threat of annihilation recedes into the annals of history. Only through persistent effort and unwavering commitment can we hope to achieve a world free from the shadow of nuclear catastrophe.